Okay, the past 2 weeks, my TikTok feed has been the viral quilted bows by Lindsay Grace. I will link down below in the video's description for her pattern. Today's video, I've created the mini fat quarter version. Each bow uses one fat quarter and some batting to quilt it. It's a zero waste project and I will be using batting scraps from my leftover quilts. So this is also a great way to use all those leftover scraps from other projects. And first you will take a fat quarter, give it a good iron, and then afterwards lay it on a piece of batting with the pretty side on top and then go ahead and quilt it out. Once it is quilted, you will cut out two 4-inch by 20-inch rectangles, one 3-inch by 8-inch rectangle, and one 9.5-inch by 16-inch rectangle. On the notepad here on the left, you will see a plus sign next to a number. That number can be a variable. Cut at the maximum width or length that you can. However, the number that is listed is the recommended minimum size. So as you can see, there is a slight grace period in case your fat quarter shifts around while you quilt it, or if you have a fat quarter with large selvages, or maybe your fat quarter was also cut crooked. Either way, there is some leeway for you to play with it. With the 9.5-inch by 16-inch rectangle, fold it in half like a hot dog, and you will sew a 1/4 inch along the edges, leaving about a 5-inch space in the middle open. Roughly 5 inches, it doesn't need to be exact, just enough to be comfortable to turn it right side out. Afterward, cut as close as possible to those corner points and trim the excess off without cutting on the sew line. This will reduce the bulk when we turn it right side out. So go ahead and turn it right side out, and you can use a pin cap, the end of the scissors, a tool called the purple thing to poke out your corners. But do it carefully so you don't accidentally bust a seam. Once it's turned out, you'll fold that opening about a 1/4 inch in and either hand sew it shut or use your sewing machine and sew about 1/8 of a seam allowance to close everything up. And this part is now finished for the bow puffy section. And next we are going to repeat the same thing to the 3-inch by 8-inch rectangle. You'll fold it in half hot dog style once again, and this time leave roughly about a 1.5-inch space opening. This part will be a little bit of a pain in the butt to turn right side out, so make sure you leave at least a decent opening here. Then this next part is optional. If you did use your sewing machine to close it and you do not want that sew line to appear on the front for the complete look, roll the seam to where it is centered on the back and then give it a good iron. Your ends will be very weird, however, that will all get hidden in the back once we glue it all together. And last up, all you'll do is take those two 4-inch by 20-inch rectangles and place them right sides together and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance all around, leaving about a 5-inch opening in the middle. I did this section in 2 pieces as this will be the tails of your bow, and having seams on both sides will help keep the tails straight and also flatter instead of puffing open on the rolled side. But before you turn it right side out, it is time to get creative, and I will show you 3 different options. First up is my favorite, and that is a curve. Now don't freak out. If you are a beginner, you can do this. All you have to do is free motion a squiggly line roughly at a 45-degree angle from a corner and make it a loose squiggly line. I used a Sharpie, which I do not recommend. I am only using it so you can see the line here on camera. And then all you have to do is mirror it on the opposite side. If you drew the line instead of free motion, you can then sew directly on that line. However, since I did use a Sharpie and I'm afraid it will bleed through the fabric, I will sew roughly 1/8 of an inch inside. But afterward, go ahead and trim the excess off with fabric scissors, and then now you can turn it right side out. Go ahead and either hand sew it or use the sewing machine to close that opening. And now it's time to assemble your bow. With the tail that you just made, when you fold it in half, you can play with the direction of your diagonal tails to whichever you prefer. Then for the bow section, you will take both ends and meet them in the middle. You'll then squish it together and hold that in place while you multitask getting the tail and finding the center, and then squishing that in the bottom center of your bow. You'll then take that middle piece and then wrap it around as tight as you can to hold everything in place. The piece will overlap each other, and at this point, play with your bow, get everything in place to how you would like it, and finally use the hot glue gun to go ahead and glue it all together to hold everything in place. Now I'm going to glue it off camera as my hot glue gun has a very short cord. But here is what my mini bow looks like all completed. And additionally, you can take a piece of cord, twine, rope, yarn, whatever you like, and take a pin, slide it through the back, and tie a knot at the length that you prefer. You can keep it short or long, it's your preference. These will also look really cute on a Christmas tree. And now here are two other bow tails that you can create. Next is what I'm calling it, like a fork shape. You will take your ruler and measure 45-degree lines on both sides until they meet in the center. And then you'll go ahead and repeat this on the opposite side. You'll then sew on that line. However, I will do it about 1/8 of a seam allowance since I did use that Sharpie. Then you will cut the excess fabric off and then make sure you trim as close to the sew line on your tails. They will be rounded either way, but less bulky. Then for an important step, in the valley center, you are going to make several mini snips. That way the fabric will have room to spread out when we go ahead and flip it right side out. While you are flipping it right side out, make sure you poke those corners out as best as you can, and then give it a good iron, and then go ahead and close the hole. And here's what that bow looks like all completed. Super adorable. And last but not least, with your tail, you can cut a simple 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be accurate because if you fold it over to the other side, you can copy it pretty easily. And then you'll go ahead and sew it together, trim the corners off, and then flip it right side up, once again giving it a good iron to lay it flat, and then sew that opening shut. And here's what that bow looks like all completed. Now I've made several as they do get pretty addicting, and they are easy to sit and assemble at your sewing machine. Plus, if you look at the bow tails, the way the fabric is pinched together will give it a new appearance as well. And I do hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. If you could please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for your next amazing quilt project.